Okay, we should now all be good to go. It's final last second movements before the race starts. The last thing I'd like to do is actually start hitting the microphone whilst we're actually racing. Incredibly loud and incredibly difficult to control. So far it's looking like 22 splits, which is quite a nice update actually they've done. I will say, although this game is now in full release, it does seem like they're still constantly putting updates out there. Hopefully the camera is not in the way of anything important. I don't believe it should be, unless they've changed something for the race, because it's the first time I've raced since they did the last update 2 weekends ago or something like that. There we go. Finally the practice is ending. What lap times? So I did a couple of practice. I didn't expect. I originally thought this was going to be GT3 cars. Turns out this is GTE, which is, although along the same lines, there are some subtle differences, some that I still don't fully know myself. I'm still figuring it out. Let's see what split we get. Hopefully we get a decent enough split to be interesting, but not too crazy of a split. I'm hoping about split 3 or 4, perhaps. Considering there's about 22 of them. Unless they've changed it now. Because I know before the update they were doing it, so they were doing the cleanest drivers had the first splits, then it was average-ish contactors, then heavy contactors, then rookies. And I guess also in the rookies you've got people that are banned. We are split 2, so there you go. Out of 25, that is worrying. That is very worrying. I do not believe I'm going to be quick enough for this. Should be a 20-minute race. There we go, 20-minute race. So we should be looking at about fuel levels. I mean, 15 laps should be plenty. 15 laps should be about it. Slip angle's good, power cut's good, all that's good. I'm going to probably try and move the brake. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, tyres. Yep, we should all be good. That should be good. I'm hoping this can go well. Although that being said, I've actually never raced GTE. Usually it's GT3 cars they put around on bronze races, so we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for the best, but it can very easily go wrong. Also easily can go wrong. Just this one for a second. What a noise. That is certainly a noise. Not ideal. Sounds very healthy, that car. Extremely healthy. I'm not overly confident in the sense of... So, thankfully, the most recent update, or at least what I've seen, they changed it from being 25 cars in the splits to just 20, which does make it slightly less crash happy. We've got a lot of Astons, which is allegedly the quickest car here, but I've gone for the Porsche, which tends to be the stabler of the 3 cars you can pick from, and then you've got the Corvette, which is just crazy. I've seen lots of Corvettes in practice, and they are spinning off all the time. So hopefully we will be the most consistent. May not be the fastest, but we should be the most consistent, which arguably is really important in endurance racing. Admittedly, it's only 20 minutes long, so we'll see how it goes. It can go one of about 50 ways. I'm hoping we'll win. I doubt it. I genuinely do not believe we're going to win, considering I'm not used to this particular car. My go-to car is the Ferrari, but that's a GT3 car, not a GTE car, so out of the choices of a car that wants to murder you, another car that wants to murder you, and a car that wants to murder you slightly less than the others, I've gone with the latter, but still wants to murder you, very much so. I've also noticed that these cars are about a second or so slower than the GT3 cars, even though they have soft tyres, which should be what I want now. So effectively I can go quicker, but they just don't seem to have as much power, I assume. I assume it's horsepower that these cars are lacking, because they definitely have more mechanical grip with the softer tyres. And then again, aerodynamics could also be a thing playing. Although, to be honest with you, this is kind of the best track out of all the tracks in this game. Well, this sim, I should say, that I'm actually more confident in. Ironically, before I started playing this sim, didn't have much knowledge of this track, apart from a couple of like F1 games, but beyond that, this track isn't that commonly used in many games, or even sims. So, just a lot of practice, really. Just a lot of practice. Go try and do a nice smooth out lap. Thankfully, with this being a Bronze League race, it's actually a case of we do have tyre warmers, so I don't have to worry about that going on the outlap. So there's quite a lot to manage. Although I've just had a quick look down and I've just worked out exactly what is different between GT3 and GT3 cars. Because this car does not have a battery. That's clearly where the power difference is. This car clearly just does not have the same power as the GT3 cars. Which is fine. Sometimes it's more enjoyable to have a slower car. Usually, closer battles, because the skill gap is not as huge, but anyway, we're into qualifying. Gonna try and get my head down now. I did my very best to actually get high up in the qualifying. Unless I do that, I completely miss my braking point. Going way too early. I'm still not fully confident in this car, as I say. I'm used to driving the Ferrari out of any of the ones around here. Did drive the AMG for a little bit, but just couldn't get it around some of the corners as well. Yeah. Can really feel the car rotating, which is good. But if I do not have the traction control set as hard as I do, I would spin so easily. That's one of the reasons I've had to put on such a high traction control number, just to prevent this car from over-rotating. It does cut the power, which isn't great, but I'd rather the power be cut and still be facing the right direction compared to having a lot more power on tap, but suddenly you find yourself going the wrong direction. I know I prefer. I completely misbroke that one. I'm braking with the Ferrari brakes. Fortunately, it's more stable on the brakes, I find, than the Ferrari, but it just doesn't feel as confident on them, if that makes sense. Which is kind of a bit of counteraction there, but hey-ho. Soft tyres can basically go flat here. Couldn't do that in a GT3 car. You have to lift basically every car. Makes it a little bit easier. 44, yep, there we go. I'm going to be struggling to get anything near that. I mean, unfortunately, we are in a case where we are in a high split, so some of these guys are actually incredibly quick. I think my main objective of this is simply just to finish. It's not that enjoyable when you go at the finish. I'd rather be more racy, but I've got to get used to the car. No point in trying to race a car that you just don't know how to do it. You'll make way too many mistakes and probably inevitably take yourself out, and unfortunately, probably more than one other person. Okay, 8 temps up. It's better. It is better. I'm glad we're doing better. Lost a bit of time there. Does look like we're going to be about a second or so up on the previous one, which is good. Particularly if the car doesn't want to rotate too much around there. Too wide. Okay, about 9 temps. That's not too bad. That's fine. We should be fine ourselves. somewhat quite far down. If I'm honest with it, it's not that good. I changed my mind.
6.90.
I mean, I did make a bit of a mistake there, so we can find time. We will find time. Turn to garage. Let's turn the volume down slightly. Car setup, make sure we have fresh tyres. Traction controls, fine. Oh, I kind of do want it to cut out. Power's fine. Fuel, probably a bit too heavy on fuel, but I'd rather not have to worry about fuel than find that I've actually underfueled the car. Not a great lap, to be honest with you. You can see that there's a huge gap between me and 12th place. It's just basically a second. I know I can find a bit of time. I know exactly where I can find some time. But a second, I don't know. This could be interesting. This unfortunately might be another scenario of mine where we start 13th, cars in front go off, gain some time, well, gain some positions quite early on, but just suddenly lose time to everyone else because they're just going to be more consistent. Unfortunately, that's just where we're going to be at. So, make sure I've got the new tyres I do, got enough fuel, no saving target, traction control. That should be fine. Yeah, we should be good. We should be good. Pit limiter. Okay. So 20 minutes. GTE cars around Portimao. We'll see how well this goes. This is the first time I've ever raced this particular car. So we'll see. I mean, I'm used to GT3 cars. GTEs are slightly different. What I've just discovered more than anything is that this car does not have any electrical hybrid system. That's that, and along with other things. It tends to be more grip in some corners. Oh, there we go. Not stalling it. I have more grip in some bits, have less grip in others. Car's balanced okay, but we'll see how it goes. Not the quickest. Most definitely not the quickest. I mean, starting this far back, you can't really fall that much further back, but there's plenty of places to try and make up here. Just gonna get my head down, focus, and see what we can do here. Pit limiter is working good. Yes, I'm out of line, but I shouldn't be out of line, but I am out of line. There we go. On a field of majority Aston Martins, we'll see how well we do. 13th place, lights about to go green. There we go. Oh, I started in the wrong gear, should have been in first gear. I mean, I did say we can only go forwards from here. Turns out that's not entirely true. Let's not go four wide into the first corner, ideally. Not what we want to do. Nice little T-Rex Porsche in front of me. Trying to find any positions we can. Seems to be quite a clean first lap, which is a good sign. Oh, okay, so now just Cason. Getting your head down. Oh, okay. Heavy lockup, mistakes going wrong. Oh, hello. Well, said hello to the T-Rex car. Got nice damage on the front. I mean, it looked like going into the corner. It really did look like to me the actual apex was going to be clear, but obviously it was filled by that Porsche. But okay, well, there goes the SR. No more safety rating. I guess I'm here for more fun, I guess. Not going to go too well, I'm afraid. I'm going to do my best recovery drive, but in a car that has now got damage, and, well, I'm not overly confident with this particular car at the moment at the best of times. I don't really see it being a very good recovery drive, if anything. Ooh. And I'm losing the back end there. I do tend to prefer front-engine cars compared to this one, which is mid-engine car, but... let's get off that. Really heating up the front left on that corner there. Not ideal. Right. Unfortunately, I did kind of... that was my fault there by saying, oh, what a clean start of the race so far, and suddenly I jinxed it and found myself having a nice little kiss with the Porsche in front of me. Fortunately, not what I expected to do. Well, we're not last, which is a good sign, because there's one car in the pits. He likes locking up. He does like locking up. I mean, that is another difference. It does seem that these cars do lock up compared to the GT3 cars that do have ABS. Doesn't seem like these have ABS at all, so can't be too heavy on the brakes, otherwise you will get lock up. And then this game, well, this sim is notorious. Oh, he keeps locking up. He is going to have so much wheel vibration. Only going to make his race so much harder to run. As I say, ideally, I'm going to try and get my head down now and try and get some quick laps in. Or at least quick for me. I mean, if this was a GT3 car, I'd feel much more confident in here, but we'll see. Productive lap time, 48, 48.5. I should realistically not be doing that time. I really want to be doing 46s. I know that I'm capable of doing it, and I know the car's capable of doing it. A little bit oversteer there. Trying my best to try and get in front of the Porsche now. I didn't really want to go move here. That's the problem, is that going into that corner, he's particularly aggressive on the brakes there, locking up every lap, which means he does lose time going exit. But I don't really want to try and out-brake someone that locks his brakes, because that's all I'm going to end up doing, because I kind of lost in that corner there. Not ideal at all. It does seem that we are somewhat quicker than the guy in front, which is a good sign. It's just going to be a case of finding a somewhat safe place to overtake him. It also does look like we're kind of somewhat catching up into the pack again. Not by a lot, but a couple of attempts every lap here. We may, if we're consistent and don't make too many mistakes, somehow get to the back of that pack again by the end of the race. So not trying to destroy the tyre. There we go, didn't go. It stayed in the yellow bit there, didn't go any further than that. That's good. What lap times everyone doing? 46s, that's what we should be doing. Didn't mean to take too much of that curb. Now that probably should have damaged my front right suspension. I don't think it has. I think we got quite lucky there, but that sausage curb definitely tried to take more of my car than I would like. Okay, let's see if the car in front's going to lock up again. Yep. Very predictable lock up there. Didn't quite capitalise on him there. It's a slight shame. Does seem that as this driver is making a lot of mistakes, it's just a bit of pressure might make it mean they actually brakes properly. When I mean brakes, I don't mean brake as in slow the car down, I mean more brakes to make mistakes. So you're going to put the pressure on. Unfortunately, that will mean though that we're not going to gain as much as we want to on the other cars. Well, it does look like, looking at the relatives, we are kind of gaining about a couple of tenths a gain a lap. It's gonna be close. If I can't get by this guy this lap, my plan is I'm just going to follow him. I am trying to give a slight gap in the final sector, just that if he does make a mistake I should be okay, but it doesn't seem to be paying off. Looks like I'm going to have to get close to him and just kind of make a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, we've got a car off in front of us, now behind us. Gain another lockup. His tyres must be really shot now, the amount of lockups he's getting. He is quicker going to the first corner. I think we're kind of quicker in the middle sector, particularly here where he didn't lock up there. That's a little bit disheartening for us there though. Means we can't capitalise on him. We do have some cars behind us. Oh, okay. Got a nice slide going on. I was able to catch it just about. Thankfully the traction control let me do it. And that's the reason why I have traction control quite high. So when I do make silly mistakes like that, I am able to save it. He really is ruining these tyres. Yellow flag, something spun out somewhere. Yeah, let's not heat the tyres up like that. Don't believe we're close enough to actually gain the draft here. Although, maybe just slightly.
That time was a 1:47.10.
Much better. Much better there. I didn't need the curb there. I did not have the sausage curb for breakfast. See if I can get as close to this Porsche as possible to actually make it sure that if he does make a mistake going into that corner again, actually try and capitalise on him. We are actually closing into the guys in front of us that are battling quite hard. Oh, okay, what's going on here? Where are we looking? There we go. That time it worked. I don't know why I had a off track really trying to slow down for, but hey ho. Definitely didn't gain time. I can tell you that game for a fact. I definitely did not gain time in that corner. We're up to 16th position on track. No pressure from the guys behind, which is good to see. We may actually have the ability to push some pressure on the guys in front though. We have made it past. Wasn't really an overtake as such, more just he kind of gave us the position. We're a little bit closer now, just a little bit closer to going from. Maybe this time the actual toe and draft will work here.
That's 1:47.89.
It does seem like we are braking quite early, as the guy behind definitely realised that we were braking way too early. Unfortunately, I can only brake as early or as late as the guys in front of us let us. Let's not go on the rumble strips, that's not ideal. Once again, I can just see the Aston Martin behind us just overshoot the corner again. We have found ourselves a nice gaggle of cars, which is a good sign. Let's see if we can actually try and overtake them though. Once again, the Porsche has made a huge mistake this time, really locking up there. I knew it was going to happen, I just was kind of waiting on when. Now, I really have to hope and pray that he doesn't lock up again and end up going straight into the back of us. That really would not be ideal. It may not have been his direct fault what happened at the start, but if he goes in the back of us, that definitely would be his fault.
That time was a 147.58.
Does seem like it looked like a lot of guys struggle getting on the brakes here. I mean, I may have locked up slightly, but I don't really feel like I've locked up at anywhere near that everyone else is at the moment. Famous last words I know for sure, but for now, that's how it feels. T-Rex car right behind. Get on the brakes, not too hard, not too soft here. Oh. It's one of these annoying situations where the guy behind and the guy in front are both quicker and slower compared to me in certain, depending on what sector we're in. We're just not that. I know in sector 1 we tend to be slower than both guys. Sector 2 we're about even, and I think sector 3 we can and do seem to be a little bit quicker, mainly because we tend to be more confident on our brakes here. It does feel that's where the thing actual, well, where we gain and lose time is the braking. Oh, went a bit wide there. Mr. T-Rex went for it. Looks like the Aston may make a move on the Porsche here. Exact same livery Porsches I've got. This very well could end in disaster here.
7.64.
Sort of did. Sort of did. No, I couldn't hold on him. And we can all tell exactly what's about to happen here. A dive bomb is about to be made. Well, not a dive bomb, but an overtakes. A late braking overtake's about to be made. Good defend the inside here. Better braking. Our lap time's about to be shot now because we're just battling all the time here. I do enjoy a good battle, but I don't know how much it's going to slow everyone down by. It's only battle for 12th. Maybe we'll see some more problems with people braking. Another lock up. Alongside, but not enough. He's going to clear us. Oh, there's a risky move going on the inside there, to be honest with you, but we're going to try and brake a bit later than them. Don't try and make it free or wide. Ah, gone out wide. Not ideal there, that was really not great. But it now does mean we're in prime position to make an overtake though. We're going to get a drop from both drivers here. Oh, not good. Now we're going to have the Porsche behind us, going to try and make a little move here. He is braking very early there, I'll be honest. You're meant to brake it around the 100 board mark. No, okay. I mean, if the Porsche wants to try and go on the outside of me, he can do. Not sure why I wanted to do that for. That was a bit of a... That's just wasting both of our lap time here. I mean, there's definitely a time to try and go too wide, and on a corner that definitely can't. It's not a good idea. I mean, it's good that I feel that I do have some pace, not a great amount of pace at the moment, but at least there's some going on. Unfortunately, it does seem like it's another one of these prime examples where it would pay off to be more aggressive, but equally, I struggle to decide when being aggressive is going to help me and when it's not. Yeah, that's way too much curb there, not ideal. Not a horrendous exit though. Oh, more lockups. Oh, okay, goodbye Aston. I know exactly what he did. I have done that several times with the guys in front of me sort of stacking up and I just get on a throttle too early trying to capitalise and yeah, it doesn't go too well. Oh, and another lock up there. We've gained 2 positions in a lap, but it looks like that blue one behind me is definitely going to make a move soon. He is somewhat quicker than me. Oh, he tried to outbrake me there. I went as deep as I was willing to go there. This is a very good battle. It does genuinely seem, though, that just being better on the brakes and just being more consistent on the brakes does pay dividends here. Final lap. We're going to have a roll on the guy in front. Is he going to defend or...? He's not defending. Giving me the inside. I had a feeling he's going to run wide there. Better on the brakes here. And an overtake made. Almost did the exact same thing as the actual Aston Martin did in the lap earlier. Got on the throttle too early. Thankfully, I do have traction control. That did save me there. That saved my bacon. I mean, considering this is actually second split out of 25, one, I'm quite impressed at the fact I'm actually keep up to most of these people here, but also, I'm also kind of unimpressed by the amount of mistakes that are going on. I know that GTEs are not that commonly run, so a lot of these drivers out here probably are not used to having cars that are, well, don't have ABS, whilst I have had some experience in the pit prototype classes that don't have ABS, so that is kind of my benefit, where kind of trying not to cause the brakes to lock up here. Doesn't look like the Porsche in front's going to make a mistake anytime soon. So you're on to the finish. In fact, we do have the toe of the guy in front of us that does allow us to actually keep it. And there we go. An achievement complete 25 races, which is good. I'm glad we managed to do that. 12th position. Not amazing, but equally not the end of the world. I'm not too disheartened by that. But what we'll do is going to jump into one more. We should, if it all goes well, hopefully depending on the time, we should just about be on time for the next one, which we are. Got 5 minutes, which isn't actually, didn't push it that late. Register, let's go back with the Porsche. Let's go with a nice attack yellow. I would say that means that we should be very clearly visible, but there's no guarantee. Let's see if we can see what the results were the last one. Good SR, lost a bit of driver rating. Kind of expected that, but the SR is a brilliant thing to see, considering we did get involved in that slight incident at the start of the first race. Let's see what we got. Race breakdown. Yeah, I know. Not amazing, but we did manage to hold off the quicker Porsche behind us. Impact here, not amazing. I do like this new animation here compared to just loading. Yeah, we did get involved with a little crash early on, but beyond that, we did pretty well, avoided everything. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I am quietly impressed with that. Not so much with the finish in the start position. Wasn't amazing. Probably could have done better, but then again, I say that was the first time racing that particular car. And look at everyone else around me. They were quicker by some margin, potentially. I mean, the guy behind was a second a lap quicker than us, but obviously he made a mistake somewhere down the line, probably to do with either outbraking yourself, locking up your tyres, or a combination of the two, or someone else doing the exact same thing. But it does seem like the Aston Martins are the quicker car of choice here, but in my experience, they're just too aggressive. They're just too rear-end happy, in my opinion. Unless they've changed recently, they could have a better setup. I mean, this is GTE compared to GT3, so they might have a slightly softer setup, more forgiving, but I just don't want to risk it. Got 3 minutes before the next race. I'm going to take the opportunity to double check to make sure everything is actually working. I hope it is, but who knows? It is 100% possible that it will just go completely wrong. As in the past, almost definitely will happen again in the future. That is just the unfortunate way of streaming. I'm going to play with it all, making sure it's all working. Yeah, it looks like it's all going well. Looks like there's nothing too major going wrong here. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm confident. I'm happy. It does seem like it's going somewhat well. Keyword being somewhat. There you go. Let's get rid of my taskbar. I don't see the taskbar there. Not exciting. 3 minutes left before the next one begins. Another 6th race round with Algarve International Circuit. I call it Portimao, but Algarve is probably the correct way to say it because it says it there. But it is in Portimao, so it's up to you. Your choice. My choice. Everyone's choice to call it whatever they want to. They can call the track Jonathan if you want. No one else will understand you and say, "Oh, did you see that amazing race to Jonathan last night?" Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jonathan. You know, Jonathan. No, there's what? The person? No, the track. No, that's not a thing. I mean, it would work. It'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Just randomly naming racetracks, whatever you want to call it. Don't think YouTube's SEO would be too happy with it, though. I mean, unless you pick something really useful. Like, oh, I'm around Mr. Beast Raceway. Not officially known as that, but I want the clicks. I mean, yeah, people click on it. They'll watch for 5 seconds and think, hang on a minute, I don't see Mr. Beast here. That's probably a good thing, because I don't want to be Mr. Beast. And I don't want any affiliation, so I don't know why I said that. I should have said something more interesting and less controversial. But then again, it's 2026, and almost all the internet creators are in some way, shape, or form. So show me someone that has 1 million subscribers on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and then tell me that they have no drama. won't happen, can't happen. Must be the personality type of the people that do it, says the person streaming. We'll go past that. We'll ignore that for now. Don't know if you can tell the fact that I am kind of rambling at the moment because I am waiting for the race. Fortunately, we didn't have enough time to, well, let's actually close off that now. We don't keep looking at the previous one. So, 24 splits this time, so it does look to be a very similar scenario as last time, so probably quite a high chance that we're going to be in second split. Maybe we could be lucky enough in the third split. Of course, most people will say, oh, that's unlucky, you want to be in high split as possible, but I'd rather be further up the standings than be in high split and be at the back. I mean, that's kind of my experience with iRacing, is I was both fortunate and unfortunate enough to be somewhat quick enough that I was often in top splits, but nowhere near quick enough to well, finish anywhere near the front. But because people tend to be quite aggressive in top splits, I tended to gain positions through just outlasting other drivers, and that tended to mean that I didn't lose too much iRating, so I was kind of stuck where I was being artificially buffed by it, and did get to meet some interesting people, won't lie, and I imagine if people did get in top split of most things now, you do come across racing drivers or streamers or just people of interest. I mean, just imagine, you just randomly join an iRacing and get Max Verstappen in it. I mean, I know for a fact he doesn't talk to anyone in it, because why would he? I mean, that's just asking for trouble. He gets no benefit from talking to people whilst, yeah, not good. There you go, some of the SEO. Max Verstappen, there you go, that's an SEO. That's not a good sign. 0% loaded. Oh. Oh, second split. And wait, how are we... We lost rating, so in theory we should be a lower ranked driver, but the game says otherwise. The game says we should be finishing 6th. That's not gonna happen. Make sure we got a nice, very, very obvious yellow car, just in case any madman decides that it's time to dive bomb. Let's see what cars we got around here. Again, quite a lot of Astons, but you do see a lot of Porsches. A couple of mad people in Corvettes. Again, rather than me, I don't think they're anywhere near. You've got the safety of the Porsche, where you can kind of push it harder and it'll be more forgiving. And you've got the pure pace of the Aston, and then you've got the Corvette that doesn't have the pace, nor is it really that forgiving. It will happily spin out, snap, just put you straight into a tyre barrel as quick as it can do. Yeah, so the car's set up okay. Move the brake bias a little bit, and that's about what we need to do. With no setups here. Probably a good thing. 30 seconds before we can actually do some qualifying. We know what lap times we can do. We know that the 46s are 100% doable. The quickest people out here will be doing 44s. I mean, 43s are doable, and people do obtain them, so any time in the low 46s is really good. I know if this was GT3, we'd be looking at 44s are ideal, but these do not have the benefits of hybrid systems, so they do have a considerable lack in power. Better tyre choice with softer compounds, which does somewhat give you a grip, but unfortunately power's king, and not having it does have an effect. Okay, so gonna qualify, 5 minutes qualification. We'll see what lap times we can do. We'll see what kind of lap times our competitors are doing. Trying to get a bit comfortable. There's my chair. Is a little bit more solid than I would like. Make sure not to get any kind of penalty by going too early. There we go. Session is now live. Fortunately, not the greatest feeling knowing that I am expected to go quicker. Interesting. I assume that I went outside of the white line there to get the warning. Make sure everything's turned on there at 1. I mean, you can definitely feel that you can get the car to rotate so much better than other cars because I guess it being mid-engine, it kind of helps massively rotation, which is enjoyable and nice. I just don't want to over-rotate. Just finding a nice balance, isn't it, really? Getting a car that can rotate better around corners, but also not rotating too much so you're not facing backwards. Similar to the car in last race did. The lovely T-Rex kiss. Well, at least I got our next fun now. Oh, that's amazing. I'm trying a new way to brake, and I might go revert back to the old method. I'm trying to put more pressure on the middle of the brake rather than the top part, but yeah, not consistent. I do see what people mean when they say it's probably a good idea to invest more into brakes rather than anything else, because I can be somewhat consistent, but maybe a little bit too consistent there on there. Take a bit too much curb. Right, let's see what kind of lap time they can do. Also, not going to get a pretty good lap time or anything. You can definitely see where the power's down, because I think by now we've been doing about 270, maybe even 280 coming into the braking zone, but we're struggling to get anywhere near 255, so... I feel like I kind of lost my braking because I was following those other guys for such a long time. I kind of followed their braking lines and learned where they broke rather than, well, probably should be braking. Try and see if I can get that back in there. Ah, there we go, I broke that one. There you go. Literally, as I was saying, I need to try and learn where they're to brake, and then I suddenly find out that my braking line's not even better. My braking point, I should say, not braking line. Oh, I can feel the car trying. Well, there we go. Exactly what I was saying. I felt the car rotating there. Good save. Good save. Not ideal, but good save. And obviously this lap time is just a bust now. It'll be a simple case of just trying to get the car to, well, set a lap time so I get some safety rating from it. Does feel like what I did there by getting off a little bit more of the throttle. Oh, really? You're going to give me a warning? There we go, so I'm not even going to get a lap time now. I'm not going to get a lap time because of that. That was a silly, silly mistake. And now I don't get a lap time. No, let's not do that. Return to garage. Let's not just rage quit just yet. I mean, we know where we should be, which is around the 46.5-second mark, I guess. So realistically, I imagine if I was able to string together some kind of lap, probably any time between 8th and maybe 12th is probably what we're looking at the moment. Not going to get that because I was very stupid and went off at the very final corner. Never done that before. I guess I was trying to maximise my speed, or didn't work out. Silly, silly mistake that was. Very silly. Fortunately, that's just part of racing, but it's just not good. Not good at all. Let's try. Yeah. Move my mic a little bit in a better position. But I will say, what kind of... Where are we? Oh, 44.7. And that was on their opening lap as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not looking anywhere near the top half of this field. Yes, we may be able to set an okayish lap time to get around somewhat 6th, 7th, 8th at the best. But realistically, more importantly, we're not going to have an opportunity to get anywhere near them. We're starting right at the back. I mean, at the moment, we'll be starting 18th position, 19th position. So back row and 20th position is also on a lap. So we are going to, as long as he doesn't mess up like I did, he will be setting a lap. So we are going to be starting plumb dead last, unless anyone will elect to start at the pit lane, which on this track isn't the worst, to be honest with you. You will lose a couple of seconds, but it's not too bad. I would say one of the better ones to do it would be something like Monza. That one, starting at the pit, is, especially if you're mid-pack qualified, starting at from the pits probably will benefit you in many ways. So I know many people would at least be tempted by it. There we go, dead last. That will mean my safety rating is currently in the toilet because I have been beaten by everyone and have beaten no one. So that silly mistake I made is going to have a negative effect on my upcoming races, but I don't care, if I'm honest with you about that. That doesn't bother me because, as I say, I'd rather have closer races and be in a lower split than being a more aggressive higher split and just have nowhere near the pace to anyone else. Although, a very slight bit, Rory, I have no force feedback. I may have the wonderful bug that this sim, well, I said game again, that this sim has where I have no force feedback. So, here we go. We got 20 minutes on a car that I have very little experience on with the no force feedback bug. So, this cannon will be honestly amazing. I have no force feedback. This is not good. This is really not good. I really should have just left and rejoined, but well, I now have no way of knowing. I now have no way of knowing if I've got grip, if I'm going to spin out. I've just got to use every little bit of my knowledge, which I have very little of. So no force feedback is going to be my downfall. I mean, let's be honest with you, I might as well get a penalty because I can't feel what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Will mean that it's going to be very easy on everything else. No point investing all that money on a nice force feedback wheel when you just don't get it. Fortunately, there's going to be absolutely no ways of me catching any slides or anything here. Absolutely no way of knowing if I break traction. Purely have to rely on both muscle memory and, well, I guess sound, sight, I would say all my other senses, but I can't touch anything because the force feedback's not working, and I certainly can't smell what's going on in this fictional car. What if I can taste it? I would try it, but I don't think that would get anyone. I wouldn't give it anyone. Get into gear. I mean, I would say I'm going to be saving the electricity by and not having any force feedback, but I don't think that's going to be my big concern here. I don't think many people do get into sim race to try and save money on the actual their electric bill. I am seeing the lovely bit if you're looking at the HUD and look just below the speed, and you'll see the force feedback where it said it should be set in. I'm getting none of it. Not a bit. It can say it's sending as many Newton meters as it wants to. I'm not getting a single bit. Oi, 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 okay, that's really, really early braking. Again, quite early braking. Not ideal here. Does look like picking the yellow Porsche was a bad omen. See if I can try and overtake the guy. No. Very much defensive there. Good positioning. Much better than the last race I was in. They did not want to position their cars too well, and that did kind of allow for some gaps. I mean, on the plus side, what it does now mean, though, is that I have no force feedback, so I can go on the rumble strips as much as I want to, and I have no worry or concern about it.
Time 150.05.
Don't know why I shifted down in second gear for, though. Again, they're very, very early on the brakes there. Oh, he almost invited me over. He almost gave me the gap I wanted there. Yellow's out again. Another one about T-Rex dinosaur cars. They do seem to be the one of choice of people going off. I mean, they are by far the most popular car, because who doesn't want a dinosaur car? Oh. Oh, bye-bye. I did say that yellow actual Porsche does seem to be a bit of a bad omen. Thankfully we haven't done what that Porsche's done, spun out, but it doesn't feel like we're too far away from something like that happening, considering I have absolutely no idea what this car's doing.
Time 149.69.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit early on the brakes there, but not too bad. Definitely had worse than that. It's such a weird feeling knowing that your car is losing grip but just not knowing how. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know people can happily play these kind of simulators, both iRacing and all those other kind of ones, with a gamepad, which isn't too dissimilar to what I'm doing at the moment. Well, also, I got no rumble, which might put me at a slight disadvantage. Let's see if we can actually start putting down some lap times. I mean, I can, and I know I can set 46s. Now, will that be something achievable with no force feedback? We'll find out. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, because I feel like I haven't mentioned it enough. I have done. Although I would be quite upset if this actually does make me quicker. The irony of that would be quite something.
Lap 146.97.
I've got into the back of the pack again, which is quite nice. But I'm not too sure what we can and can't do with the pack. So something that I'm quite reliant on to let me know whether I'm about to spin out or not is the blue lights on my dashboard. You'll see them light up when the traction control sets in, and that kind of gives me an idea that something is a rise. So when I have no lights at all, that means I can basically go flat, foot to the flat of the floor. One of those things I'm trying to watch and not get involved in any of this collision going on here. Okay, he's given me the position. Can only assume that Aston Martin doesn't want to race, or maybe he's trying to do the old tactic, which looks like what he might be trying to do, where, well, if he follows me, he can get a draft on me. Nope, not bothering. I mean, I know he's a lap down, which is... I didn't realise actually he's a lap down. Okay. And that's why he gave it to us. No other reason.
6.88.
Thank you, Porsche. I could see him spinning back in traffic for a second. And I'm very grateful that he didn't. Whoa! The Aston Martin behind us almost took a nice chunk out of our rear end. I did purposely pick a yellow car for a reason, but it doesn't seem as if that made too much of a difference. Oh, again, he's a lot closer than I would like a lap car to be. I know that inevitably what he's trying to do is, well, have some fun because his race is done. He's going to be basically right at the, well, his best case scenario is people wreck. Just like that car. Goodbye, Porsche. Another position made up to 11th position. Which, given her circumstances, I'm really quite impressed with. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I missed time and break. Yep. Yeah, that's not good. Luckily we had enough time gap between the cars behind, but that was not ideal. I knew that I broke there. I knew that I completely mistimed my braking. I thought, I'm going round. Dang. That's not great. That is really not great. I did know it was going to happen at some point. Not too happy when it did, though. I guess now we can kind of see what kind of lap times we're able to set. And first of all, that didn't help. See, that's much more where I like to brake. Yeah, I tried to straighten my car up there, but it was going. Ooh. we didn't like that. Well, at least that time I managed to get my braking marker right. I mean, I was correct by saying that I could do min 46s. Surprised in this condition I'm able to do it, but nevertheless. I broke way too early there. I did their braking, not mine. Really looks like we should, hopefully in the next lap or two, if I don't make too much of a mistake, be able to catch to the guy in front. Or he could just go completely out wide. He could do that if he wanted to, I guess. I've got them curbs. We should, in theory here, be able to make a move this lap on the guy ahead of us. Now, will he make it easy on us? I doubt it, but possible. Oh, that's quite slow. That is very slow. Just didn't have the confidence to follow him around there. Just didn't trust him. Yeah, I see the blue lights flashing there. I had a feeling the car was good or something. Didn't lose too much time, but equally didn't gain. It's one of the things I did find out when I opened Scope the first time, is that he is quite defensive in the way he places his car. He's not quick, and he does make mistakes like that, but he does have a habit of placing his car in an interesting position. And I have just noticed we have company and they go behind. We need to make a move now. We can't afford to sit by this guy now. I have a feeling though that Aston is slightly quicker on the straight, so it's not the best opportunity to do anything here. But I am massively stuck behind him now. He really, really struggles in that corner. Okay, there we go. Had to put my nose in front of him there. He may not be too happy about it, but at the end of the day, I had to make a move, and the only way to do that was to get alongside him and kind of show him my nose. Yeah, I had a feeling that guy behind was going to do that again. He's been doing that the past couple of laps. Now means though that the Porsche is going to be stuck behind him now during this section. It's quite difficult to overtake. Or we could try and do a dive bomb. I say that. Definitely a lunge. Not a dive bomb, but definitely a lunge. Does seem like he's got it. Does seem like that's exactly what he needed to do to get anywhere near it. There we go. So what time's the guys in front of us doing? 48, okay.
Time 1:46.
2-3 laps to... maybe. Could have the potential of a top 10 here. Especially if they do stuff like that. But then again, if I do stuff like that, there's no way I'm going to be able to get any opportunity to get away. I made a mistake by braking too early there, and I tried to compensate by driving too quick into the corners. That is not what you should do. Also, I'm quite aggressive on the brakes, but my brakes don't seem to want to lock up anywhere near what everyone else does, so it does seem they're running default brake biases, which is fine, but it definitely seems to be that's where I'm able to gain time by just being slightly more aggressive on the brakes. Now the Porsche behind's gained a lot of time on it. So either I let him go or I defend. Not ideal there. I think the Porsche behind did the exact same thing as me though, kind of went a little bit too deep. Ooh. Didn't expect him to lunge up on the inside there. He's very aggressive, but we know that. We know that he's very aggressive from what we saw earlier. He will make a move if he can take it. But of course, it is 100% my job to defend it. Don't think I'm going to get a special here. Not close enough to the guy in front to get any kind of draft. Maybe a case, it does look like it, that the Porsche behind us is effectively not battling us, hoping that, well, we'll make a move on the guy ahead of us, or we'll get stuck making a move on the guy ahead of us. That will effectively allow him to take 2 positions in 1. I've got a bit of an overdraft. No, don't you dare. Really? 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 You went for that move, did you? I don't know why you went for that move, to be honest with you. I know I did move, which he point as you moved into braking, and I kind of see what his point was, but there he goes. Okay. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay. Nice to know. What a great person. Well, I've lost so much there. I've lost lots of SR, lots of everything. What a bad race that was, from start to finish. I was hoping that the T-Rex wasn't going to do something stupid. I had a feeling he was going to do something stupid. I was going to hope that he was going to at least let me make a move on the other Porsche and then do something about it. And I just think, you know what, I can never take two guys into a hairpin corner. Because that's intelligent. But whatever, that's the end of that. Honestly, that was something. Let's have a look. Where are we at? We are... Is this the final lap? This is the final lap. I know what I did here, so what my plan was is I was trying to keep it as tight so he didn't get a good run on it, but obviously he decided that no, he was going to take that line. And a bit before that, so I made a move. I then dived in slightly. He was all over there. He's not committed to anything. I then dive back in. He then decides, oh, I can get him here. I then push it there. He's like, I'm going 3-1. I'm now committed. I'm committed. Doesn't make the corner. He's now completely off track, by the way. He is so racing law, well, rules. He's off track. He now needs to rejoin safely. He's off. He's not on the racing track. He's gone off, and then bang, straight in the side of me. I mean, and you can tell he's just loving life right there. Honestly, some people will just be like that, and there's not a lot you can do about it. But, well, that's that then. What an amazing race that was. I know he's quicker, but it's his job to overtake me. Not do that. Let's see how much SR and, well, safety rating and everything we lose. I bet we lose a lot. Something tells me I should have done that. Race breakdown. I bet we've lost a lot here. I bet we've lost an absolute ton. Yeah, well, this is going to be losing a ton. Not ideal. This... Actually, somehow it kept that to a minimum, so I am now into Silver 3 safety rank, which is good. Driver rank, that's just in the toilet, but we had a feeling, I had a feeling that was going to happen. But, yeah, okay, well, that's that. That's the end of that. I am going to end the stream here after that amazing last race there. I mean, you do get races like that, don't get me wrong, it does happen, but, you know, you just got to deal with it. When it happens, it happens. We could have had probably could have had a top 10 finish here quite easily, but just wasn't to be. We get lucky sometimes, and other times we don't. Although, looking at his safety rating after that one, that is in trouble. He is... That explains a lot. Is that bronze 0? How is he bronze 0 and have one of the trusted racer? Because that's not... Okay, whatever. Okay, well, anyway, on that really weird situation, I'm going to end it there. And I will probably put my next stream somewhere on YouTube when my next plan I'm going live. I don't quite know when that'll be, but I'll sure to update YouTube on that one. If you're on Twitch, then either watch on YouTube or at least go onto YouTube to see when I'm next streaming, or put notifications or whatever. It doesn't matter. But anyway, that's the end for now. Thank you so much for anyone who did watch, and until next time.